And we're back, Sam. Yesterday, day one, questions are popping already. We see them coming up. Does the app really help playing a game in 2 hours? We've got a lot to go through today. How did you feel about yesterday?
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. For the questions were great that were coming in, and I think we gave a lot of knowledge back to the people. And that's what we're looking to do every single day: answer as many questions as we can, give you guys tips, advice, and just to help you along your journey. But yeah, it was great.
Great. And yeah, we definitely got a lot of questions. I got some questions overnight as well that I've saved here. So yeah, guys, we look. I'll go with the 30 days of dedication on day two, on day three, on day 23, 22. Guys, it's about helping you guys, about making you better footballers, making you better people, and that's what we do at Train Effective. All right, that's why we're repping the Train Effective kit today. Yeah, see that badge? I'll put it to both cameras, but we got the Effective FC badge right here. Train Effective merch right here.
You only
Yeah.
get that if you join the camp, though, guys. That's the only way you can get that.
Oof. So we're looking on fire today. Let's go straight to the first topic, Sam. And it's we are just talking about this right before the stream started. Cristiano Ronaldo has come out with a new video,
Yeah, I saw it.
and he doesn't do a lot. He doesn't do a lot of interviews. I saw one he did with Rio Ferdinand a couple of months ago. Maybe was it 6 months, 9 months ago? I don't know. But he did one with Rio Ferdinand. I thought it was a very interesting one because it did dive into a lot of the mental side of the game, which Rio loves to speak about. And you guys know we have a mentality masterclass on the app from Rio Ferdinand. So we know that Rio loves to talk to everyone about mentality and how to become stronger in that aspect. Um, so he doesn't do much, but he has dropped a new podcast or interview, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, you watched it all?
I watched the part one of it with Piers Morgan. Yeah, there was obviously some things that we can go over. I'm sure the chat. I'm sure you guys have seen it as well. But yeah, what did you make of it? What did you think of it?
So I did watch it a little bit this morning.
Hmm.
Actually, I had it in the background. You know these things, guys. Like when you got to get stuff done, you put things in the background. Maybe you go to the gym and you listen to this, but and then sometimes you pause it and you rewind parts and you think, what did he just say there? To be honest with you, in this one, I didn't see a whole lot where I was like, oh, let me rewind that.
Yeah,
Let me rewind.
I was the exact same. Yeah,
Yeah, it was more about like him and his I guess his newly engaged, they're newly engaged, right, newly
yeah,
engaged.
yeah.
So there's a little bit of that kind of gossipy aspect, although Sam, we did talk before the 30-day dedication about the importance of your significant other, about your partner, being the rock bed of your life, especially when you're going after your dreams, right?
100%, 100%. Yeah, we touched on that a little bit, a couple of days ago, I think it was, and yeah, it's so important. As you can see with Ronaldo now, what is he, 40, 41? And he's just got engaged now. So obviously, especially for him, it must have been so tough when you've got all that money, all that pressure with every single girl in the world probably want to be with him for X, Y, and Z reasons. And yeah, for him, it must have been a difficult kind of thing. And he's probably he's took his time, and he's realized that probably the one Georgina who's with now is the one. So yeah.
Yeah, this thing, I think there's like two different thoughts here, and you see this with footballers, yeah, and a lot of athletes. Either they get married like really young.
Hmm.
So, and when we say young, I mean these days it's like under the age of 25, let's say, and they have kids under the age of 25, a lot of them. And then you have some of them who are like, and I say, the one who says it, I'm not going to get married. You're not going to have a girlfriend until, like you retire. You know who I'm talking about?
No.
Any guesses? Son.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Son. So Son's father is famous. Is like this famous like interviews he's given, and he just talks about how Son, he's just not going to have a girlfriend. He's not going to get married, do all these things until after he's retired. That interview that what was reported about him, that was a few years ago. Maybe it's changed now. Maybe LAFC, him moving to the MLS is a bit of a different direction in his career. Maybe he can get married in California now. I don't know, but it's like you either go young or like some people are just holding out until their career is done, or maybe it's a limelight where maybe you can take the foot off the gas a little bit.
That's
I
true.
always thought that was interesting. Do you know what which where do you fall in the spectrum, Sam? Are you like yeah you go young, you have a real foundation for your life young, or you wait till you're a bit older?
That's what I used to always say. When I was like, growing up and I was like 18, 19, I used to say, yeah, I'm going to be settled down by 23, this, that, my own little family by that age. And, obviously didn't plan out that way. So, but I always thought that I was a person that, yeah, young age, everything's going to happen at a young age. And obviously, in life, you never know what can happen. So, but yeah, my mindset was always kind of, yeah, I'm ready to do everything young. But you never know what's around the corner. You never know how your life can change in a day or whatever. So yeah, and everyone, as we always say, everyone has their own kind of journey. Some people have get married early. Some people later. So yeah, it depends on everyone's situation. What about you?
What about me? Well said, Sam. Well said, Sam. Let's maybe we don't touch upon me this week, but I, yeah, it's like teach their own, man. I get the thought of you have a good foundation early, because when you have a family, when you have kids, when you have a significant other that's really holding things down, like that just allows you to actually go focus on your football and focus
Yeah,
on what you want. So, and when you have kids, and I mean, that gives a lot of joy and love, a lot of love in your life. So, part of me thinks of the new Newcastle striker, Walter. Always mess up
well,
his name.
Tomade.
Walter Made.
Yeah,
When he joined Newcastle, he said, I'm excited to be here at Newcastle," and he mentioned like, I'm single, so I'm looking forward to go and experience Newcastle, go see the nightlife. He didn't say exactly like that, but
yeah.
it was phrasing it like that, and I was like, "Oh, is that a long term buy for the fantasy team? I'm not sure." You know?
Well, I've got him on my team, so he better start producing goals. But it's true though, because that's why I think a lot of players settle down so young because of the distractions of the whole nightlife. When you're making so much money at 18, 19, 20, 21, playing at the Premier League level, they're making ridiculous amounts of money, and so they're going to have girls throwing themselves at them, and with that comes a lot of distractions off the pitch. And players can get into certain situations which isn't really good for them, which can affect their career. So I think there was a saying where I saw somewhere, I don't know if it was Sir Alex Ferguson or something, that he used to always want his players he always used to want to meet all of his players like partners and everything, because he just wanted to make sure that they were all like going home on a weekend with their families, not doing anything crazy. So he always had that close connections with their partners, which is really interesting.
Yeah, 100%. And so there you go. There's different schools of thought there.
Mm.
I, for one, lean towards it's better to be in a committed relationship
Hmm.
uh, when you're focusing on something that you really really want. But not if it's a toxic kind of thing, and it's distracting you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. On Ronaldo though, I'll just share the screen again here for the YouTube people. There are a couple of things that stood out. One of them, and they talk very kind of nonchalantly about this, but like Piers Morgan is like, "Oh, so yeah, I texted you, you're a billionaire now," and I'm just finding the clip here, but he's like, "Yeah, I'm a billionaire," and he talks about the structure of his investments and all this stuff, and some of the things he said here, it kind of stood out because one, he's like, he couldn't count how many cars he has. Okay, so he doesn't have 5 cars or 10 cars. I think the best guess he had was 41 cars.
Hmm.
41 cars, Sam.
What do you do with 41
What do you
cars?
do? What do you do with 41 cars? I don't know.
Honestly, and I heard he was like, I don't even drive all of them. I just have them there. I just go and check on them, make sure they're all good, they're all clean, and then I'm fine. Like it's like an investment for him. It's- yeah, that's crazy. 41 cars, Chat. What would you guys do with 41 cars? I want to hear some of your comments. If you had
Yeah, what would you
41
guys
cars,
what
what
would
would
you
you
guys
guys
do with
do?
41 cars? What would you do? I would take all those cars straight to the train effective camp, and we'd be picking up people from the airport and the brand new cars, guys, and we're like, this is a football lifestyle right here, Premier League footballers lifestyle right here. All right, we're coming to
Literally.
you live and direct with the cars. But yeah, he's a football billion. He's a football billionaire now. I think one thing that struck me here is like he's very kind of humble about it. He's not putting it in everyone's face.
Hmm.
I'd also like to add that being in the business world myself and knowing a lot of these footballers and stuff. Okay, you can have $1 billion on paper because maybe you have different investments in companies and stuff, but actually you don't actually have $1 billion in your bank account.
Mm.
So I just want to add that there, if that's somehow relevant. But yeah, I think he took it very humbly. But really what he said to get to the essence of this is like, oh, he didn't say he doesn't care about the money. He says, the money makes me feel comfortable. But really, that every day is just focused on trying to be happy, trying to be satisfied, trying to be kind of the best person he can be. And I thought that's a really good mantra for life.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, like you could tell, like probably at first when he first started, obviously making that money, because I remember he said something like he set himself like a target or a goal of becoming like a millionaire and then a billionaire. So that was something that was motivating him. But once he achieved that kind of goal, it was like money is not every. He really, you really money's not everything. For him, it's about making sure his family are okay, making sure he has that close bond with his kids. And just as you said, taking care of everybody and making sure he's a good father at the end of the day. Which I think he mentioned quite a bit. He's probably going to retire soon. He mentioned, and he wants to have that be there for his little ones and to. I know his teenager Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. is like at that age where he's doing silly stuff. So he wants to make sure he's looking out for him and he's not making silly mistakes. And that's all part of growing up. As kids, and we've all been there. I'm sure you've made some silly stuff. In your teenage years. I've done it. We've all been there, and that's how you grow up.
Yeah, 100%. One other thing I saw, Sam, was he gets shown a video here, and I'm going to bring it up on the screen again. You can't hear the audio, but you'll be able to see the reaction. And it's Piers Morgan showing Ronaldo the first goal that he ever scored at a professional level. So I think Ronaldo was 17 at the time, playing for Sporting Lisbon, and he takes on a couple of players. And in Ronaldo's words, he scored a worldie. Do you think it was a worldie,
I thought for a
Sam?
17-year-old, I thought it was a great goal. For a 17-year-old who just come on on the scene, like it takes a lot of courage and confidence to score that goal because he's picked it up, he's taken one or two players on, and then he's had the composure for the finish just to do a little like dink past the keeper. I thought it was a great goal. I thought if you look, little step over pass, bang.
Yeah, it's a good goal. But importantly, it's what he said after for me. And he said, with 17, it was a big boom for me. It was a great goal. The first goal, he's saying he got this rush where he felt like, yeah, now I can be something in the game. I can maybe be a professional or a good professional at least. And so he had this kind of intuition. And I hear a lot of people, successful people, Ronaldo's, successful business people, whatever, and they'll talk about how they get this intuition, like, oh, this could be something for me. Did you ever have that kind of feeling? Was there ever a moment you thought,
Um, I think you do. I think you do. You do like deep inside, like you could. I don't know, like I remember my first, like when I scored my first professional goal, you had the feeling of like, okay, like I'm meant to be here. This is where I belong. Um, and I think it's like a confidence thing. It gives you a massive like boost of confidence to know, okay, and what I found was it was like a drug to me. It's like addiction. I want that feeling again. I want to because there's nothing, and I think Ronaldo mentioned the same. There's nothing that compares that feeling of scoring a goal. I don't think there's anything that nothing compares to it. And I've played any other sport, I've done whatever it is, nothing compares to that feeling of scoring a goal. It's a complete different feeling, and I don't think anything else can give you that kind of feeling. So I think yeah, it just gives you that confidence to know, yeah, I belong here and I want more of this. Yeah.
Mm. Amazing. Sam, go get a question from TikTok. Maybe get one or two. It's going to
Okay.
fix something that we got going with YouTube at the moment.
Yeah, they're saying YouTube's having issues.
Yeah, I'm figuring it out, guys. Figuring it out. I think it's
Guys,
because we showed the video. That's why.
guys, give me a question while we fix YouTube. Let me answer a couple questions. So TikTok, give me your best questions.
Say that there's one that I did see before in the chat, and that one was. Let's go into it. I have Riyadh says I have very good dribble. I'm a very good dribbler
Mm.
and passer. I have good shooting, but my weaknesses are defending. How if you're a player like him, okay, I'm guessing maybe he's a winger, attacker, that kind of position, maybe a cam. How important is to actually be able to defend? What does that mean to defend?
So, it, so when you're like an attacking player, right? There's a difference in terms of your defensive roles and responsibilities compared to like a out and out defender, a fullback or a centre back or a centre defensive mid. Um, when we say defend, is knowing the kind of positions to pick up off the ball. So when your team don't have the ball, knowing the kind of positions to pick up to I don't know, to screen the play or to track back in a situation where you need to follow the runner. So it's about little details like that. It's not about you being a defender and you're marking the player for 90 minutes a game. That's not what you do, because you're an attacking player. Your main strengths are going forwards. But when you don't have the ball, you've got to make sure you understand the positions you pick up on the pitch, to make sure you're doing all the right things defensively. Lagging, sounds cutting out.
I I could hear you fine, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned you should add Max Dowman on the app. What's your opinions on him? Have you seen much of him, Nick?
Max Dowman,
Yeah.
the Arsenal player, that young Arsenal player, he's got his GCSEs.
Yeah, the
I haven't
50s.
seen much of him, to be honest. I've not. Um, so I just like that he's still got his head down. He's still getting his grades and still focused on like things outside of football, because that's something that I remember Frank Lampard was famous for. Frank Lampard, guys, he was obviously Chelsea manager. Where is he managing now? Coventry.
Coventry in the top of the league in the championship. He's doing really well.
Coventry, top of the league. So he's proved himself to be a good manager as well. Obviously at Chelsea, and for England, he's a legend. And me being a Chelsea fan, I'm a big fan of Frank Lampard. But I say Frank Lampard because Frank Lampard's got he's very intelligent, high IQ. He was very smart on the pitch, because if you look at Lampard, it's a great player to study, because he's not the fastest player. Fans used to call him Fat Frank,
Yeah.
because he doesn't look like the most athletic player when you look at him. But he was so intelligent, so smart, scanning all the time, that when he did get the ball, he was immense, and he scored 20 goals a season, just by
That's
making really intelligent runs.
that's ridiculous. As a midfielder, to score 20 plus goals every season, that is that is insane stuff. Strikers, a lot of strikers don't get those numbers. So as a midfielder, to be doing like the timings of his runs, they were exceptional, and that's what obviously got him all those goals. So guys, if you're an attacking midfielder, go watch clips of Frank Lampard on YouTube. Go and see what he did well, because off the pitch, trust me, he worked tremendously hard, and he had to put in the work and the hours off the pitch when no one was watching him, And when people had gone home from training, he was still there doing the extras, just to give himself that extra bit of that extra 1-2% to stand out, because he knew, like, he might have been talented, but he knew he had to work harder than most, and he had a great career.
Yeah, 100%. So
No worries, bro.
Frank Lampard's a great one. And so yeah, that's what I think. Skill wise, I can't comment too much. I haven't looked at him, but yeah, he seems like he's got all the characteristics to go far for sure.
Yeah, no, he does. He plays with literally with no fear, and that's what we tell the youngsters all the time. Like, never play with fear. When you step on that pitch, be fearless. And if you go watch Max Dowman right now, he's playing against seasoned pros, big men, and he's only 15, 16 years old. But you can say when he gets on the ball, he's fearless. Like, he's taking on the man, he's winning penalties. It doesn't matter if he gets tackled, he'll go and do it again. And as a player, that is something that you should always do. Always when you step on that pitch, be fearless. And yeah, I think he's going to have a touch wood if he stays injury free, stays healthy. I think he'll have a great career. Yes, Kareem, how are you, mate?
I'm going to share the next one here. Speaking of character, Sam, have you seen this where like Wayne Rooney was criticizing um, Van Dijk, Liverpool's Van Dijk? Have you seen
I,
that?
I saw bits and bobs from it, but what was it? With that, was he calling him his defending lazy or what?
Yeah, I got the article on the screen, but basically, like Rooney would basically came out and said like, um, you know, like he's not doing great,
Hmm.
and he's really like publicly criticizing Van Dijk, um, and I'm just trying to figure out what he said exactly, but basically he says something like, "Where's the comment? Hold on, what's going on here? I didn't hear him. Oh, hold on. Sorry, guys. It's like I'm reading the wrong article. Yeah, he. I won't go exactly what he said, right?
Yeah.
But Rooney said like not the best things about Van Dijk, and so after the Champions League match yesterday, it was Liverpool versus Real Madrid. Did you watch that game?
I watched a little bit of it. Didn't catch all of it, no.
Did you see how Van Dijk played?
I did not. How did he play?
Played well.
Play
He
well.
played well.
What I saw, which was I saw like the interview after with Arnie Slot. So I think this is putting two and two together, and I think it makes sense because of what you said. So I saw that there was interviewing Arnie Slot after the game. I think Wayne Rooney was there, and a few others were there, and I think they asked Arnie Slot, "Oh, obviously you've been through a bad run recently of losing games and blah blah blah. What's the feeling like?" And then obviously he goes, I think he looked at Rooney and he goes, "That's the worst part of being a manager, isn't it? Isn't it?" And he looked at Rooney because obviously Rooney lost a lot of games in Birmingham, so I think that was
Yeah,
he was trying to get back at Rooney for his comment to Van Dijk.
yeah. And he said it in a kind of like respectful manner, like he wasn't having a real go at Rooney. But I thought, okay, that's nice. Like, so he heard that criticism, and Van Dijk didn't let it get to his head.
Yeah,
He kept on going, and Liverpool's won the last two games, so maybe in a way that criticism fired him up, maybe fired some other players up. But yeah, that's a real example, guys, especially for young players. You're going to get criticism. Coaches might say something, other players might say something about you. But I think I wanted to use this as an example just to say, look, Van Dijk gets his criticism every day from people that probably he respects. I mean, Rooney was one of the best strikers, right, to play the game. So
100%.
when someone that really played the game, won Champions Leagues, and represented their country says, yeah, Van Dijk's not doing well, then it's not a random person on the street just saying you ain't got no skill. So it's a real good message for players listening. Like, guys, take the criticism on the chin. Don't even listen to it. It's in one ear, out the other. And if you do feel it, use it as fuel. Because Van
Exactly.
Dijk has here, and he definitely heard it. but it didn't affect his performance. If anything, it just made him better. So there
And
you
that's the
go.
best response. That is the best response all the time. If you hear criticism, if you hear people trying to bring you down, you don't need to say anything. Your performances on the pitch can do the talking for you. And people can't say anything. If you're performing on the pitch, and you're doing well, no one can say anything. So that is the best response, guys. Never fall into the traps of people giving you negative comments and trying to bring you down. It could be many reasons. It could be people jealous of you, or people just trying to bring you down because they don't want to see you do better than them. That's all part of football, guys. You're going to get a lot of that growing up and being in different teams and going on trials, etc. But as I said, always make sure you do your talking on the pitch, and the rest, trust me, will take care of itself.
Speaking of defenders, Sam, Callum on YouTube asks if you could pick any fullback to watch in a match and learn from, who would it be and why?
Ooh, right now, I would say probably Hakimi. I'd say Hakimi at PSG is probably the standout fullback that I would watch right now. I think defensively, he's top. I think going forwards, he's incredible. Um, and I just think he's got all the attributes for a top fullback should have. He's quick, he's strong, he's powerful. He understands the game. In a 1v1 defensive situation, 9 times out of 10, he's hard to beat. And then going forwards, he's such a massive outlet for PSG. And I think because he went off injured yesterday, didn't he? Yeah, against they played Bayern Munich and he went off injured. I think obviously he was a major miss for them once he went off. But yeah, I think Hakimi definitely one of the standout right backs at the moment.
Football Law also says, how do you improve as a fullback who is not fast in pace and the wingers pass you easily? Are there, Sam, fullbacks these days who are not fast, like at the high levels? Do you
It's
think of
rare.
any slow fullbacks?
That's the thing. It's so rare, isn't it? I don't. I in this day and age, with how fast the game is and how athletic the game is, it's so rare to be a fullback and not have, not be a quick or pacey fullback. Because you're coming against the fastest players. The wingers that you're going to be coming up against, they are unbelievably quick. So if you can't match them, or if you're not as quick as them, or up to speed, you've got no chance. You've got no chance. You want to come up against Doku, you want to come up against Vinny Junior and Mbappe, and you're not up to speed. Yeah, you'll be dragged off within the first 20 minutes.
Yeah. So I think advice is if you're not pacey, maybe one, you have to evaluate yourself and think, okay, can I become faster? Is there speed work I can do? Do I need to maybe lose weight in order to improve my speed? Like, what does that need to do to actually um, to improve my speed? And I think if you can't improve your speed, you can't improve your quickness. Second thing, actually, you should do this in combination, but you really need to be more intelligent. You need to know when to go close to the defender or to the attacker, sorry, when to go close and when to drop off. Okay. If they're a pacey attacker, attacking winger, then always, usually the good advice is you stay close to them.
Hmm.
Um, but then if you stay close to him, you can't let him turn, which means a lot of fouling. Jamie Carragher was very good at this. Okay, Jamie Carragher wasn't a fast player. John Terry, not the fastest player, but with the fast players that they had to mark, always see they're staying really tight to them, really tight, or giving them to their fullbacks. I'm talking about centre backs. But yeah, so I think that's some advice. Intelligence. Can you work on your speed? And if you can't do those two things well, you probably have to look at it again in a different position.
If you can play in numerous positions, it's only going to help you as well. So don't just focus on trying to be a right back. Try and you can play in centre mid. Play in different positions. It's going to help you because as a manager, if he's got a player that can play in different positions, trust me, it's a really really good kind of point for you to get in the team. There's there's a quick
Go on, Sam.
there's a question here on TikTok from Mikhail. He's asking if I can't juggle, but I'm good at ball mastery and all that stuff. can I still make it pro? What do you think?
Just repeat the question. So he's good at
So
ball mastery.
he can't do kick ups, but he's good at ball mastery. He's asking, can he still make it pro?
How can you master the ball and not be able to juggle? That's my question.
What I would say is right. Being able to do kick ups and juggle or whatever is not good. It's not gonna make you a professional footballer, right?
Mm.
So it might help you with your touch and your control and that, but it's not. There's probably pro footballers out there that can't really do kick ups and that, but because it's not. There's no relevance to that in the game. You're not going to be doing kick ups in a game. So, but in terms of your ball mastery, yes, I mean it's important to be able to have good little touches and manipulate the ball and being able to control the ball with different parts of your foot, etc. My question to you is: are you currently playing for a team right now, or are you just doing training just solo on your own? Because if you're just training on your own, then I would say to try and find a team, a local team wherever you are, and get into a team environment. And that's how you can start your way up and work your way up the kind of program to go into an academy and then into a professional club. Because if you're not in a club and you're just training on your own, no teams will take you. Okay.
I do think though, Sam, there's got to be a minimum number of juggles you can do
I
to
think
play at a pro level. Are you saying there's pro players that can't juggle the ball 10 times and playing professionally? I don't know.
I'm sure 10 times, of course. Yeah. I'm sure there's pro players that can do 10 times. That's a given. If you can't do 10 kick ups, then you're banging trouble. Uh,
What's that minimum, Sam? What do you think that minimum is? You think to yourself, you have to place a bet on people. You think, all right, if they can't do X amount of juggles, they probably don't have a chance here.
what shall we? I've never even thought about this, But what would be the minimum? What would you? I'll let you answer. What do you reckon the minimum should be?
I'd say 100 at least.
Yeah, I would probably say the same.
Because
100.
if the ball comes down from the air, you can't, or the center back. Say you're a winger, the center back sprays you the ball. It's coming at you with speed, like, and what you don't have a first touch, you can't juggle the ball a couple of times. Like you need that kind of rhythm, I reckon.
You do.
So
You do.
so yeah, for me, it'd be at least 100. We even have a drill actually on the Train Effective app. Okay, so for Train Effective app users, go to the search bar in all the training drills and stuff, and type in total body juggling. I think you can actually find this drill on YouTube as well. So if you type in total body juggling, you'll see this drill that I'm talking about. Just try to see how many revolutions you can get. Okay, this drill, if you look at it, you it's like a revolution around you. Okay, a circle around you. So you start from your foot to your thigh, to your shoulder, to your head, to your shoulder, to your thigh, to your foot again. So it's like a circle, right? Like a cycle. Try and do one of those. And if you can do one of those, congrats. Because we used to do that drill when I was young, and trust me, it's hard.
Yeah, that is a
Hard.
hard one.
And if you can get 3 or 4 or 5 in a row, then for me, that's ball mastery. That's awareness of your body, knowing what speed, what weight to pass a ball to your knee, from your knee to your head. Like, this is ball mastery for me. So if you can do one of those, or two of those, or three of those, already I'm bullish. I'm bullish on you, Mister or Mrs. Player.
I agree. I second that as well. There's a lot of questions coming in on TikTok. Ittori's asking, Sam, I usually play on the left wing, but coach is making us play traditional. It's hard. It's hard to variate my game. Any advice? So usually you're playing on the left wing, but when you say coach is playing traditional, what do you mean by that? So just yeah, I don't know. Do you understand that? What he means by that?
And traditional.
Yeah.
Does he mean the formation is traditional? Like, but
Like I'm on the right as a right footer. Okay, so he's
mm,
so okay, so you're okay, cool, I understand. So he's playing basically as a right winger, and he's right-footed when he prefers to play on the left, cutting in on his right, and creating chances. Then this is a great one. So any wingers out there, like, if you're right-footed or left-footed, whatever, it's so important that you're able to play on both sides. Okay, because it gives you more options, and it puts doubt into the opposition fullback. So you could be coming up against the right back and you're playing on the left, and you're able to go inside, but then you're able to go outside as well and use your left foot. Again, same applies to the other side if you're playing on the right. You can come inside on your left, and you can go down the line on your right and produce crosses. I'll give you an example. Back in the day, I'll give you two examples actually. Back in the day when Ronaldo was at Man United, during his young days when he was a winger, he could play on both sides. And you go look back at his goals, he would score goals off the left and he would score goals off the right as well. And it was so difficult to defend against because defenders just don't know what he's going to do. So it gives you a massive advantage. You look at a player now at Everton, Iliman Ndiaye. Jack Grealish came to Everton. Ndiaye used to play on the left. They've put him now to the right side. And if you go and look at his goal the other day, when he's cutting, he's taken a few players in, he's cutting on his left foot and he's scored. That shows that you have to be adaptable, because he could have easily been out the team if he weren't adaptable and he's not able to play on the right side. So my advice to you, Tori, is try and work on both going down the line, coming inside on your left foot, and just being confident going both sides, because trust me, it will help you a lot. Yeah, you're when you cut in, I'm always trying to give it to the fullback. It's because you're not trusting your left foot. You got to trust your left foot more. The more you do it, the more trust you'll believe in yourself more. Trust me. At first, it might feel a little bit weird because you're not used to it. It's normal, but then the more you start doing it in training, start doing it more. Tell the manager, no, I want to play on the right side. I don't want to play on the left side today. I want to play on the right side, and just keep practicing. Cut in, bang, and then just the repetition will help you. Okay.
Because I made a video once called "How to Improve Your Weak Foot in 30 Days," and guys,
That's a good one,
basic
guys.
of it, 100 shots a day on a wall with your weak foot, 100 shots a day, and then see where you are after 30 days. Like
Yeah,
the first couple of days, it's awkward because you're like your left foot or right foot, whatever you're weak at, and then you're like, oh, this feels really weird. Then you start getting the hang of it, and then you start scoring goals after 30 days, after 60 days of doing it. Doing drills, guys, when you're at training, this is the thing about training. Training is always the place to make mistakes. Okay. So try things in training. When your next training session, if you're a right footed player, stop always only using your right foot. Try that left foot. Like maybe you're playing a possession game. Say to yourself, in this 5 minute possession game, I'm going to try touch the ball with my left 10 times, 15 times, get 10 one touch passes out the way with my weak foot. Whatever it is, just try getting that habit of using both feet until it just becomes a habit. You don't even think about whether I should take a shot on my left or pass on my left or pass on my right or dribble with my right. It just becomes second nature. So yeah. And what's he saying, Sam? He's saying, I see, but most dribble or move in my locker, like some flip flap or whatever, ends on the right side. So he's saying any skill move he does ends up on
yeah.
the right side. Well, mate, it's just because you have to practice going on the left side.
It's
It's
because
just because
go on.
mentally you're not confident yet. But the only way to get confidence, repetition, like Sam says, repetition, and trying it first unopposed. Okay, so you're doing it by yourself with no opposition, and then you try it against opposition in training or whatever with your friends at school. Right, do it in these environments where it doesn't cost you much, and you try it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Any questions from your side?
Yeah, the people on the juggling, we had L Can't Del FCB says, I disagree. You can't make it pro if you can't juggle. Your teammates are playing two touch, etc. And you can't, you're never going to fit in. Juggling is the lowest standard of technique. If you can't play two touch with your teammates, it's over. Yeah. Think about it. You're a trialist, and then a coach is looking at you at a pro club, and you're playing two touch or something, and you're like, oh, this guy can't even, this guy can't play. But maybe, like we said yesterday, you do have that one standout thing in your locker. You
Yeah,
got Usain Bolt level of speed or something. Um,
exactly.
so yeah, there you go, Alcante. I do have one question. I have so this comes from Callum again. Callum is a OG question person now. I've been doing extra training on my own and off on the Train Effective app. Uh, I'm just wondering. I'm finding it hard to enjoy it. How do I start to enjoy it again? Because at the start I did. I have some thoughts here, but Sam, if you got anything,
I think from my side is sometimes everyone can go through spells where they're like, oh, I'm just not enjoying it anymore. Like it's getting boring, it's getting repetitive. Sometimes just start like a new something new, something fresh. Whether that's a new training drill, whether that's giving yourself, I don't know, for 2 weeks you're gonna work on something else, and just like a new thing just to work on, because I know I've been there as well. I've been there. Sometimes you work on something so much because you want to improve, but then it can just get repetitive and it can get boring. So for me, I would just freshen some things up, and just give yourself like a new thing to work on, to find that enjoyment, find that spark again.
what I used to do, Sam, and I'll still do some form of this, is like a weekly reflection. So Callum, I think it's really important, especially when you're striving for higher, to do a journal or a reflection, or you can even think about it on a walk when you're going for a walk on Sunday or something, and you reflect on the week and you think, okay, what did I really like about this week? What didn't I like? And for me, I'll write it down. Sometimes I'll do a thought dump. These days, you can even like talk to ChatGPT or something and just speak it. I also like that method. But literally, just do a bit of a mind dump. Okay, this is what I like, what I didn't like, and then you'll start to see patterns. Okay, I really didn't look forward to training. Okay, why was that? Well, it's because like I feel like the coaches, I don't know, judging me, or I don't get along with the players. Okay, maybe there's a way to rectify that. Or I didn't enjoy training because I'm doing this same drill all the time, and I'm not. It doesn't seem like I'm getting better at it. I'm just doing the same thing. I'm not improving. Okay, maybe you need to switch it up and try something different. Maybe you need to give yourself like less time. Instead of doing the drill for 60 seconds, do it for 15 seconds and see how fast you can do it, because that increasing that foot speed will allow you to get faster over 60 seconds. Like just these little things where you start to analyze yourself, think a little bit deeper about your game and about what's bothering you, and you ask yourself that question, how can I make it more enjoyable? Then that's you're already going to go far that way. So if you bake it in your process, okay, step one is to reflect. Okay, step one is reflect. Step two, when you reflect, look for those patterns, pick things out and think, okay, I don't like that. Step three, now think of solutions. Just think 1 minute about different solutions you could think about making that specific thing more enjoyable. Coming back outside of the drill side, I think something is mental there, which is saying you're saying to yourself, "Oh, okay, I'm not enjoying actually overall training." Okay, why is that? Why is that? Is it because I'm expecting too much of myself? Is it because I'm expecting that I'm going to be playing in a professional club or a higher team next month, but it feels unrealistic at this point? So why do I even bother? Just and maybe we can come back to this, Callum, but just think about that. Think about these deeper things that end up getting you to your ultimate target, which is to enjoy every day, to look forward to every day, and keep this thing as a consistent thing. Because there's 10,000 hours. It's 10,000 hours of practice. So you really got to enjoy yourself. So if you've got another comment there, we can follow up on it, Callum. We'll go deeper with you. Go on, Sam.
So there's a question from Mr. Composure. How do you keep top performance in every game consistently?
You're
Do you
asking
want
me,
to go?
Sam?
I'm asking you. Yeah.
Routine. Like that one word routine.
Routine.
You
Yeah.
agree?
I agree. I was going to say the same thing. I'd say to routine, preparing correctly, and following, as again, a schedule routine every single day to give you the best kind of preparation when you go into a game. Because when you start doing the same things over and over again, and you're preparing right and you're doing all the right stuff, when you go into a game, you're going to be able to perform at a high level because you've done all the right things leading up to the game. Um, so again, routine is so important, so important, guys, and it will hold yourself accountable. Because for example, if you've got a match on a Saturday and all your friends are going out to a party on a Friday night, in your head, you're going to tell yourself, should I go? Because if I go tomorrow, I'm not going to be in the best shape for my game. I'm going to have poor sleep. I'm not going to be recovered well. I'm going to be up all night. And then the next day, you won't perform. So that's where you hold yourself accountable. And sometimes that's a sacrifice you need to make. And you need to miss the parties. And you've got to stay at home, sleep early, prepare well, do your recovery stuff, knowing I've got a match tomorrow. And if you want to go and be the best player on that pitch tomorrow, again, it starts before the game. It starts, 24, 48 hours before, 1 week ahead, to preparing every single day. So, yeah, have a routine and follow that routine consistently. Will give you the best kind of, to perform every single day. Yeah.
I'll say this is the last thing, so we can we'll wrap up today on a high note. But if
Yeah.
there's one takeaway for anyone that wants to perform better, okay, one takeaway, this is something that I recommend you should try, okay, because we get a lot of comments from players in our community saying that they're nervous before matches, they don't know how to move in a certain position, they don't know even what position to play. Vasquez saying that go watch football, like something that helps you play in your position. It can be watching a player in your position. Okay. If you're a number 9, like center forward, go watch Didier Drogba. Go watch the top strikers out there at this current moment. Go watch them play. Second thing, the tactical analysis part. When you see these analysis videos studying players or studying different positions, certain things trigger in your mind. Oh yeah, actually I can move that way, or I can come in closer to receive the ball, or I can do these little things that help me get in the ball, score more goals, or make more blocks, or whatever it is. Do that, and you can do that all in the app as well. Just search your position, look at the courses. Just do that for 5 minutes, 10 minutes on the way to the match, on the bus, on in the car. Like, do all that, guys. Just do it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It can make a big, big difference to how confident you feel once you step out on that field and you actually start playing. Trust me.
Yeah. 100% agree.
Yeah. Sam, today a little bit shorter than yesterday, but again, this is about consistency. It's about consistency. It's the 30 days of dedication. Um, and we're here. We're showing up every day. We're answering your questions. So happy birthday again for yesterday. we got we got some good comments yesterday. So guys, just let's end this stream by wishing Sam another round of happy birthday. 'Cause technically it was yesterday, Sam, but maybe in some countries right now it's still actually yesterday. So
Mm.
we're just wishing you happy birthday again, Sam.
Thank you, guys. It's the longest birthday ever.
Yeah. So let's leave it at that.
Happy
30
late
days of
birthday.
dedication.
Thank you,
If you
Mr.
want to go,
Composure.
if you want to do Mr. Composure, thank you for Sam.